Hello, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well,
It's
yeah,
11.
it's still morning.
It's 11.
So I am
It's
not
not
awake.
noon yet.
I am not awake. You can tell. Um, so we just came off of a 5-day trip to New Albany, Indiana, and Louisville, Kentucky. We did usually our cafe crawls and different things, bookstores and all that are Louisville. New Albany has some really cool stuff though too, and so we love one of our new favorite places to go exploring, along with Columbus, Ohio, which I'm going to be posting a Derive that we did um, there in Kofi, and there's all the photo dumps from this trip in Kofi, which you can unlock with just $1 a month pledge to or subscription. Unlocks all my posts, so you get to see all that. But we are coffee with Panda,
Hello.
and I am scattered this morning. But that's I think most of that comes from sleeping on an air mattress for 5 days. Well, 4 days. It gave up its life on the last day, and I had to rebirth myself from it because I had it it was going to hit the floor. I knew it was going to hit the floor, and I was refilling it at 3:45 in the morning, and I knew it wasn't going to hold both of us. So he pulled the couch cushions off and put them on the floor. My daughter's still getting furniture, and so I woke up Tuesday morning to literally being cocooned in. I was on the floor and the rest of the air was in the sides and it had closed in. Thankfully, it didn't smother me to death, but I literally had to rebirth myself from that mattress. So we've had a day or two to get, reacclimated to our bed. I'm going to shift this over to the other monitor so at least it looks like I'm looking at the camera. Hi. um, but so when I was in college, I had learned about something called a derive. And a derive is DERIVE. And it's going off your beaten path in your hometown because everybody has this, home, work, school, home, grocery store. You have this path that you do. And a derive is when you intentionally go off that path to explore areas where you live. Well, we've taken it from where we live to other cities. We'll do derives in, like, we've done Danville, we've done Somerset, we've done Frankfurt, we've done New Albany, Louisville, Georgetown, Columbus. You know, we did that a lot in St. Augustine when we were living in Florida. We did that in Jacksonville. Kind of sort of did it in Winter Park one time, but it's just when you can't travel, like getting on a flight to go somewhere, or going overseas, or just that kind of travel. Derives are a fabulous way to get to know your area, and it's so much fun because it's less money. Generally, you're not having to pay for a flight. If you know somebody that you can stay with, you're not paying for a hotel. If you can get like a credit card that does hotel points, or you can do go online and buy points and just kind of save them up for when you're wanting to take a trip. Which Holiday Inn, we've done that because the Imaginarium is usually in a Holiday Inn, and so we get the points for staying there. But now that my daughter lives in New Albany, we're hopefully not going to be able to, not going to have to pay for the hotel all the time. Depends, but it's cheaper to save up the points and do that than it is to actually pay for the hotel outright. But being able to do day trips or overnight one overnight stay or a weekend. This time it was Friday through Tuesday. So we got to go quite a few places. I found that uh, we're super excited about. I found the future home for Two Crows in Louisville. I thought it was going to be Logan Street. I found Art Portal, which is an art complex. It is a punk complex, and it is amazing. And the studio space is going to be perfect for what I'm wanting to do for phase one. So we spent quite a bit of time there. We did lunch, just drove around. I love being able to take photos of like graffiti and textures and different things that I can use in my art, and being out in parks or trying new food or going to cafes and bookstores. And the bookstore we found happened to be in Art Portal, so that was a whole new experience.
Yeah, that area has a lot of just murals on the sides of walls just to dress up everything.
Yeah, Louisville is covered in murals. Art Portal is covered kind of like 3rd Street stuff. The coffee house in Lexington that we've gone to, they are literally covered wall to wall in paint. It's not necessarily graffiti there, but it's every surface is painted or has some kind of framed piece or some kind of artwork. And same thing with Art Portal. Art Portal on the outside is just covered in graffiti, and it's beautiful. I posted a big slew of photos from our trip on Ko-fi, and then I'm actually going to do a separate post just on Art Portal. But I'm excited. It's going to be perfect. The vibe matches for me, and yeah. So, but being able to do these derives is also a way to find out more about your community and where you can support your community. We found a place that we had lunch at called The Table, and they have a pay what you can model, but they go a step further, and it's either pay what you can or work. So they'll actually put you to work to pay for your food if you want to do that. And there's, a few homeless people that we saw in there, but it's a really nice cafe. And so there was, regular clientele coming in, and just very welcoming, very clean, really, really, really good food. We all got something different, so we could we're passing tastes around the table. Isa's pulled pork sandwich, I think, was probably my favorite, and your Parmesan fries.
Parmesan fries.
But it was cool because we'd gone to the farmer's market Saturday morning, and that's the other thing I'm looking forward to in that area is I love their farmer's market. But there's a guy called Lots of Pasta who has a storefront in Louisville that we're going to have to make a point to go to, because he had these big, like you get those big, huge things of dinner rolls, only this was homemade focaccia, and it was soft. It was done right. And so
it's like a sponge.
So Isa and Angie both got some. And then when we went to the table, my sandwich came on their focaccia. I was like, where did you get this? Is this from Lots of Pasta? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I had the ham and mozzarella with a strawberry asparagus salad. It's very tasty. So I put photos and stuff in Ko-fi. But just being able to dig in a little deeper really helps you to set roots in a place. And build out, I don't want to use the word network, but build out your web, build out your connections, and just find new places. And we'd heard about a couple of other places that we didn't even know about. So it was a lot of fun. But what's your favorite part of doing a derive?
Well, my tastes. But just usually finding the bookstores when we go on out to different places that aren't just the 2 or 3 companies that you're normally used to being a bookstore. Because there's several places we've gone where there have been indie stores that have some kind of theme or some kind of uh, genre, broad genre that they cater to overall, and then they have smaller sections for other things as well. And that may not even be the highlight, like this one we were just at. Uh, you know, the books were kind of secondary. She had like the little coffee stand there
And all the
in the middle of
zines.
art portal, and the books were kind of all along the outside around the booth as you walked around it, and they had she had a clearance section and a free book shelf,
Which I got one. It's
of
really cool.
just stuff that has maybe sat there a while, and she's just like, I'm gonna go ahead and put these on a free shelf. And then everything else was either used book or brand new price.
Zines. There was several
Zines,
artist pieces there. There was a local person that had done a tarot deck, and she actually made 3-pack, like 3-card reading packs, which were really cool. Me, Angie, and Isa all got one. And
that were in those like card dispenser style.
yeah, and then there was a zine. There was a machine that does, like the old ones that you put money in and you get a sticker out of it in a cardboard sleeve. Only these were zines.
A long time ago, we
and
used
then
to
they
get
had some other stuff that were zine related.
Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon cards out of them ages ago.
Yeah,
where it was like a blind draw of some kind of game.
Yeah, I actually really want to. I'm gonna have one in Two Crows. I've already determined I'm gonna have one in Two Crows, and I'm gonna do mini prints. I've seen a lot of artists doing that recently, and you can build your own. You can get the pieces to make the mechanism and everything out of just regular metal like parts. And I've seen pieces artists creating their own custom wooden sticker vending machines or print vending machines, or there's just something about a vending machine that's just fun. Like when we were in Columbus, we went to the one bookstore that had a like the gumball machines, only it's the one that have the big plastic pull apart balls that you put stuff in, and they recycled theirs. So there was a little basket on top that once you got something out of the vending machine, you could put the plastic ball back up top, so you didn't have to keep it. But it dispensed short stories, and it was on like receipt paper,
short stories,
so poetry, you really have to read them soon, because that fax paper does not keep a print.
It's heat transfer paper. So if you're out in the sun a lot,
if you heat it back up,
it'll just melt.
No, if you heat it back up, it'll actually show back up again.
Oh, right.
But it's it only does that so many times, and so there's an immediacy to it, to reading it. But we both got short stories out of it, and I would love to do like poetry or haiku or little mini zines in those and sell them, and because I just think it'd be super fun, doing mini prints. And I want desperately to get an Artomat machine. I know last time I checked, they were like $1,100, but you keep the money that's made out of them, and you can either order artwork to go in them, or you can fill it with your own art. And we saw we saw one. Unfortunately, it didn't work, from what Angie said, over at Melwood, which was this big, huge industrial complex that they've turned into an art complex. That sadly, they have galleries in there that are active, and there's a couple other places, but it's a huge maze
store on the first floor.
It's mostly
like open all the time.
It's mostly empty, and the ones that are there were like, most of them were closed, the ones that we wanted to go into. And this was Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. So another artist friend had said that it's kind of slowly dying, and which is sad, because there's so much potential for that space, and you could get lost and never found in this place. It's so huge. But it's just Louisville has a few places like that. Art Portal is a huge complex too, and it's all art studios. Has the bookstore setting that we went to, and they have some open studio spaces and they have a big venue there, which would be perfect for shows. They have little venues. They have, book clubs going on, and they have writing stuff going on, and they have zine stuff, zine adjacent. So, I mean, there's so much stuff there. It's just such a perfect fit for what I want to do with Two Crows. This year is going to be our last year for the shows. The juried shows in fall and winter that I do here at Boone Tavern. We did a solid 5 years, which is what I wanted. And my goal after that was to focus on a storefront. So that's what I'm doing. We just need to get moved. So send lots of juju energy, good energy for moving, and that something opens up for us with that. And buy stickers. Go to my shop and buy stickers. Because that's really what the hold up is just a financial, we need to finance a move, which is never cheap, and it's a lot more expensive than it was when we moved to Kentucky from Florida 10 years ago. So especially with gas prices and everything else. But I'm feeling pretty confident that here in the next few months, probably after Imaginarium, I'm thinking I don't want to do it in the middle of August because it's going to be hot, but I don't want to do it in snow either. So I don't want to wait until December. But we are on a month to month right now so that we don't have to break lease. And it's just a matter of getting the apartment that we want in New Albany. And so that's where we're at with that right now. But it's been so much fun just being able to day trip some of these places. And it's only 2 hours actually to Louisville. So we could do it in a day. It's just after I've done all the walking and I've done the cafe and done the bookstore and everything, and the turnaround and have to drive 2 hours home is a bit much. But just if you can't afford to travel, a drive is the best thing you could do, the cheapest thing you can do in your own hometown where you live, is to just spend the day literally wandering. Go off the sides, go the side streets that you don't normally go. Even if you want to, do a search for bookstores or cafes or thrift stores, or, the peddler malls around here are amazing. And the basement floor of Melwood is something we're going to go back, and that's probably going to take 2 days to go through it. We're going to need GPS because we're going to need air tags on each other to find each other because it's huge. But just being able to, and I'm cool with window shopping. I'm cool with going places and taking a look at, all the neat finds like the peddler malls here. Sometimes I'll make a note which booth if I want to go back and get something, but it's, just being able to walk around and see a lot of the history and a lot of stuff that I hadn't seen since I was a kid, or, we discover new things sometimes. We had done a last trip, not this trip, we had done a thrift run with Angie to a specifically vintage thrift store, which was also a mall. I think it was in an old grocery store. It was ginormous. It was all individual booths from people. And we actually found some cool stuff for Issa's apartment. And they both got me a couple of gifties. We were looking around for pandas, but we couldn't really find a whole lot. And we didn't run across any books that we knew he'd like that weren't like crazy expensive because of antique. But just being able to rummage around in a thrift store. And I love supporting places like New Albany. They have one called Mustard Seed, and they support women in crisis who are the victims of domestic violence. So, all the money goes towards that, which is such a good cause. And they have so much stuff. I mean, their clothing and, we picked up a few things there, and I got my cool little set of bowls
Mhm.
that I love. But just, you know, being able to explore and not spend a whole lot of money, that is your best way. And
Mhm.
it's a great sanity trip if you just need to get out, So being able to take a drive, and I know gas is 4.19 to 4.39 depending on where you're going here, and it's more expensive. I know we've got a friend in
Elsewhere.
Washington, it's like over $5.
Mhm.
But literally for the cost of, $20 in your gas tank, pack a lunch, have a picnic, go to a
Mhm.
park, go, and just kind of soak in your surroundings.
Yeah.
But
We were fortunate to have a few free coupons left over from
oh
a
yeah,
contest thing that we helped somebody with. And so there was one day where we just had sandwiches at this particular place
Jersey Mike's.
because they had free coupons that
Yeah.
we'd gotten. So
So we got like chips or something, and then,
Mhm.
but
Buy your
um
sides and then
yeah, but it's
free
just,
sandwich. Yeah.
even that, you know, if it's closer to home here, pack a cooler bag,
Mhm.
and just take a picnic lunch kind
Yeah.
of thing. Because it basically is just time and gas.
Yeah. Especially if you're planning on being outdoors anyway. If you're looking at going to a park or some kind of other outdoor site, sitting on a bench where you want to be
Yeah.
and bring your food with you. Yeah.
And a lot of these,
It's
like,
a great
we
idea.
have scenic parkways here where you can literally just drive until you find one of those photo overlook stops where they have parking spots. Pull over there, have picnic lunch, and drive back home. Who cares?
Mhm.
It's just something simple, and it's a way to get outside. And
Mhm.
that's the big thing for me. Spring and fall, especially fall. Fall, you cannot keep me inside. When it's nice and cool out, and it's been beautiful here. Even when it's gotten warm, it's been really breezy. As long as I've got a breeze, I'm okay.
Mhm.
I just can't do Florida 80, 90, 100-degree weather with no air. But, you know, being here, if the weather's nice, I'm all over being outside and being able to go look at stuff. And we have waterfalls and we have all sorts of things here in Kentucky that, we can go to and check out. I still really, 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 really want to go to Mammoth Cave. I have not been to Mammoth Cave yet. Part of it is because I'm writing a book, Odonasha, that's going to get back on the burner as soon as Stalemate is out, which I'm getting close to Stalemate being out. Um, is there's caves in Odonasha on the island, and I
Mhm.
just really want to go see caves. I've been in caves, I've been spelunking, and it's been decades. And they actually have handicap accessible stuff at Mammoth Cave. um I don't think, or do I have, this might be it, maybe I have an old Viewmaster, like the actual Viewmaster, and I'd gotten some
Reels.
reels in one of the peddler malls, and one of them was Mammoth Cave. This one actually is Alice in Wonderland. And if you're not sure what a Viewmaster reel is these are all little slides, but you look through it and it looks three-dimensional. Um, I actually have one of the old 3D viewer, uh, or the slides for it, but I still need to get the, I forget what it's called.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, some of these are like super old, but they're three-dimensional. They're done on Kodachrome, full color Kodachrome. And yeah, so I have one that is Mammoth Park that I happened to find at a peddler mall here, geeked out completely. Um, and yeah, just so thrift stores, peddler malls, um, cafes, bookstores, buy a cup of coffee, pick up a book at a used bookstore or whatever, and just sit and hang out, have a picnic. There's so many different things that you can do, depending on what your goals are. With us, it's books and food mostly. um, but I don't know where are some derives. Where are some places that you would like to go next, like city wise here? Because I know we want to go to Columbus again. I know we want to go to Columbus again. Covington has a bunch of really cool stuff that we haven't really explored.
Yeah.
We go up there for Hierophany and Hedge, which is a bespoke arcane store that friends of ours own. They've become friends, and it's just a really neat little area. Covington has a lot of Art Deco history. Trying to think. Could do Somerset again, but they had a paranormal museum down there that shut down, but it looks like somebody bought them out and started a new one, so we haven't been there yet. Georgetown. We found a few places that we'd like to go back. And I have a list on my phone that I kept of, stuff we saw this time that we want to come back to, stuff we want to see next time that we didn't get a chance to get to. Cincinnati, maybe.
Yeah.
Trying to think. There's a few places. Bowling Green, I think, is one of Paducah. That's definitely a weekend trip, though, because it's about 4 hours.
Yeah, it's a long
There's
way.
a few places that it's going to take a few hours to get to, and those are definitely overnight stays at least. So we're thinking, close to home. And we haven't even tapped Louisville. There is so much stuff in Louisville. It's technically the only city in Kentucky, from what everybody says. It's definitely the biggest city. So, but yeah, doing a Derive and I do a little travel journal before each trip usually. And I've started doing travel zines so that I can actually, write down, make notes, journal, and that kind of thing. So that's another thing that you can do. Urban sketching is a lot of fun. That would have been great had I thought about it. We were going around too much to try and get different things in. So if we get a chance to next time, I want to go back to the industrial complex and do some urban sketching. And trying to think, just little art projects. You could even go around and leave art in different places for people to find. That would be kind of fun. Do a scavenger hunt on your Instagram or something and show where you left it, and then whoever gets there first gets it kind of thing. I did that in Ocala down in Florida for a little bit. But so travel ideas for when you can't travel. But we are gonna head out for now. I've rambled for too long. Still recovering from the trip, tired. But had a really good time. If you want to see all the photos, and there's a lot of them, I have posted with captions on each one on what places are, with links to some of the stuff that we saw on Ko-fi, and I'm Renmeleon there as well. But I'll link down to stuff in the description. And if you're in Kentucky, Louisville and New Albany are both great places. Columbus is a great place. There's so many, each city has its own, really cool stuff. But get out and explore, have fun, have your own little adventure, and we will see you next week. I've got Saturday is my next live art stream on Twitch at noon, so Eastern Standard Time. So I will hopefully see you on Twitch on Saturday, and if not, Monday night is gaming. Wednesday night is more art. And then next Thursday, we'll be back with another episode of Coffee with Panda. So stay well, stay safe. Wear your mask, wash your hands, take care of each other, and we will see you later. Bye.